Hello and welcome back to Vintage Gaming Memories. Appreciate your interest, whether this is your first time here or a return visit to the channel. In this video, we're going to look at this large handheld bowling game called Bowlatronic by Coleco. Now, it's marketed for ages 8 to adult, and this came out in 1981. And I actually owned this one, not this exact one, but I owned one back around that same time. And I remember it's probably one of my favorite handhelds, probably because of how large and unique it looked. This one here I picked up in August of 2022 for only $50 on eBay. I was very particular with wanting to find one with the box and then everything fully intact, which I was fortunate to find. Don't be confused with this Bowlatronic game and the digital tablet device that's shown in this clip from 2022's TV miniseries, The Book of Boba Fett. Now, it's pretty funny and cool that they use a prop in that Star Wars type of show, but it's, it looks like a Bowlatronic from the backside, as you can tell. Let's get back to the real game here. Let's look at everything I got with this one. Now, since this was a year ago, I have already fully cleaned and polished the plastic, so this is not the original condition I received it in. From what I recall, it was in very good condition. Just need to be polished, which I did with the Novus One product for the plastic clean and shine. So definitely something I recommend. I think I mentioned it quite a bit in some of the videos. So let's take a look exactly what's in this box and go from there. Let's put this to the side. So obviously the game was in the box, but this box was in very good condition. Very impressed on what I got for $50. Like I said, it's a pretty large handheld game, so. And you got the styrofoam packing to secure it, and instructions in great condition. And I believe this is a Coleco advertisement, which is, well, it's not in great, but it's still there condition. And you can see the other Coleco line of products you could have purchased back in that time frame of 1981. And I have a lot of these to show if I haven't done so already. And then here's the back side. So anyways, that's what came with it along with the game. So let's focus more on the game and the instructions here. This game, it measures about 15 inches, 15 and a quarter long by 5 inches wide and a height of only 2 3/4 inches. So pretty large when you compare with other handheld games. Here's the instructions. Comes in Spanish, but just flip it over and then you've got it in English. Great condition. I mean, it's a very simple game. There's only a few, maybe 4 pages worth of instructions before it goes into Spanish. Then you flip it over, obviously. Let's examine this game a little bit and see how the actual game itself is laid out. On the left side, you've got your on and off switch. On your right side, there isn't anything. The back has nothing. And of course, nothing on the front. But the bottom, you do have your instructions here on how to play the game. A very quick 10-step instructions, and then the battery compartment. As you can see, this is in great condition. I mean, it's like brand new. Rubber footings are new looking. The instructions look very clean and new, and so does the battery. And the compartment is immaculate. Takes 2 9-volt batteries. What can I say? It's like perfect, like no one's ever used it. It definitely is not in the condition mine was. because I know I gave it a beating. The play field itself, really clean. You don't really see any scratches at all. Even the controlling sections or the selector buttons are really nice. So let's go and get right to this. Let's put some batteries in and fire this up. And then we'll look closely at the features of the game. So 2 9-volt batteries. Okay, so we've got batteries in, and I have repositioned it a little bit, and you could probably tell I've changed the lighting just so that there won't be a glare when we do power this up. But before we do so, let me just give you a quick overview of the features of the game. This first row here, this is called the curve buttons, which determines how the ball will roll down the lane. It's got pictures right above the button to show what type of curve that will occur when you press it. And then the middle button, which is a straight one, which will show you a hint. And that's why it says hint. So if you press it down in the middle of the gameplay, it will give you a hint to give you the best path to get the most pins to fall. It's very helpful when you have splits, and there is no limits of how many times you can use that during the gameplay. Right above that row is called your spot buttons. They're numbered 1 through 6. Now this is used to pick the spot from where you want the ball to be released down the lane. And as you can guess, in order to release it, you're going to have to probably use the 2 buttons together. A spot button, just one, and one of the curved buttons together simultaneously, and that will release it. And then above the selection buttons is the play field right over here, where you'll see the path of your ball when it's released as it goes towards the pins, which are going to be displayed right here. And then in this little box here, this is pretty key information. You'll have the frame that you're in, the score, the player number who's up to bowl, and most importantly is the portion right above it where you'll see a small bowler moving at different speeds. Now this is key because you need to stop this bowler in one of the 5 positions that it will be going through. And if you stop him after this line, it's considered a gutter ball. So obviously no points. But if you stop him before the line, depending upon how fast he is going when you stop him, that's how fast your ball will travel down the lane. And by stopping him, I mean releasing the ball. And by releasing the ball, I mean pressing these 2 keys 2 keys from these 2 rows simultaneously. Now it's a 1 to 4 player game, which is why the first 4 numbers here are in red. And then when I power this on, which I'll do right now, you'll be hearing a beep, and it'll be beeping with the P, indicating me to make a selection of how many players. And hopefully there it is. So let's do a 2-player game. So it says here, 2-player game, frame 1, player 1 to bowl, score 0. And it calculates the score for each ball, which is really nice. And as you can see here, the speed of the bowler going through the 5 positions, slow, average, very slow. And then it's going to probably speed up about maybe the next one. It's all varying. There you go. So obviously you'd want to go as fast as you can, perhaps, if you want to get a good power strike or power ball through. But you're at risk of guttering it if you go past the line. The hint button, as I mentioned, will give you a hint of how to go or which path to go in order to get the most pins to fall. So I just press it by itself. Obviously, it's telling me to go with number 5 spot and a slight curve, which would go towards the center. So it's probably 5 and maybe that one. And then it's a matter of me timing it, how fast I want to go. Since you have to hold both buttons down to release it, I always hold down one of the buttons, perhaps the spot button, and then I just have one button to push to release it. And I'm going to wait here. So I got 7 pins down, 7 shows. And then I got to pick up the spare. And again, same concept. I hit hint. It gives me an idea which way to go. And it's like, what is it, a 3? I think it's a 3 and a little bit of a curve. Let's pick this up. It's a matter of waiting for my speed. All right. And that tone is the spare tone, as you can hear and see the little spare symbol. Same rules of bowling with 10 frames. And if you strike in the 10th, you get to bowl 2 extra balls. And if you spare in a 10th, you get to bowl 1 extra ball, just like you would normally. Let's see if I can get a strike here to give you the strike tone. I'm going to go with this. So that's the strike sound. So it's pretty cool. I mean, the only thing I see with this game is with this area here, which is what's going to get the most wear and tear. You know, it is an LED game, so obviously the LEDs all over the playfield possibly can go bad, and then you have that issue. But depending upon how you press down on these buttons and how often you play and how aggressive you are, I could see these buttons getting worn out because they're just sensitive touching. I mean, there's a little bit of a push to it. They're not really I don't know how to describe it. I can see underneath there a little bit of a curvature for when to push the button onto it. And if you push down too hard, and if you're just and you're holding onto it, perhaps as a handheld, not a tabletop, holding it as a handheld in your hands like this, you're putting a lot of the weight and pressure on this when you're pushing down. So that could get kind of worn out and possibly go bad, which is probably why I think I play this mostly tabletop, unless I'm playing this game with one player by myself, and I'm probably sitting in the bed holding it up, and that's probably a better way of balancing it than having it just dangling in front of you. I just jumped ahead to get to the last frame here just to give you an idea how it shows the final score and the winner. So let me just end this off. Don't judge me by my score because I just kept on releasing the ball quickly just to get through these frames. So that should be it. My score, player 1, and it makes that little chime with all the pins showing. That means that was the high score. So that's how it determines the winner if you have more than one player. Otherwise, it will scroll through the other player scores until it gets the high score, which is player 1 in this case. To restart the game, you're going to have to power it off. There's no way to just reset it from the game itself once you finish. So it's a simple off and on. So that's a wrap for this game. This always brings back some great memories, so it's top 10 on my list of handhelds for sure. I think the challenge I had was trying to achieve a perfect game, which I never got that, but I got close. Maybe I'll do it one day when I'm in a rocking chair. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep your gaming passion for the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.